Hello everyone and welcome back to I Love EditorX. Today I want to show you how to recreate this sidebar, like YouTube sidebar, that it has two states, the expand mode and the collapsed mode, which display only the icons. And of course you can display the title itself. It's based on the button layout. Here for example, the icon is on top and the description, the label is on bottom, and in the expand mode they are beside each other. All right, so first of all I want to thank to Gio, lots of guide to Gio Movement, because he asked me to create this tutorial, and why not, right? So he asked me if I can create dashboard page with a vertical section navigation such as EditorX itself or similar like YouTube. So I'm going with the YouTube version. So you can see this is my version and it's already working. You can see that it's a slight difference between my version and YouTube version, because in YouTube they display the label name and display only 5 buttons from all the list, only these 5 buttons, and in my example I'm showing everything, and you can see that even I make my site, my screen height smaller, I have this scroll navigation inside. All right, so let's see how it's built, right? So actually I inspected a little bit, and there is two different navigation elements inside. There is this layout and there is the second layout. So we will create it same way using multi-state box, and you can see that the layout is pretty much the same. All the buttons are look alike, and we have some dividers between a group of buttons. And for example, here we have a title, and we have kind of a footer inside our sidebar. All right, so to do it in the right way, we need to create one time like one button in the right way, and then just duplicate it, right? So just to spare some time, I already created, but I will show you how I did it. So basically I download all these icons in advance and store it in my library, and I create a container with grid in it of 5 columns, 5 rows and 1 column. You can see it like this. Okay, so each stack element, each group of buttons are in their own row with a divider. Actually the divider is part of this stack element. You cannot see it because the gray is too much gray, so I will make it 5%, and now you can see the divider. So I use the button with icon, so you can add icon to the button, and the cool thing about it is that you can change the layout pretty easy if you go to layout and change it like this or like this. But make sure when you change layout to remove the space in between text and icons, and only then change layout. Okay. All right, so let's undo it. All right, so this is pretty much a single button, and you can see I also add the hover style. And what I did, I just duplicate it after I create one as exactly as I want. For example, in these 4 groups of a button, so I just duplicate it 4 times, and then I stack them together. I select all the 4 elements with holding shift and then click stack, and now they are pretty much inside a stack element, which is basically a container, and they are all inside of it. And you can play with the spacing. I will select 0 pixels for all, and the alignment will be to the left. Sorry, I meant each element inside will be aligned to the left, or 100%. It's pretty much the same. And for the divider, I basically used a line. I will copy it, paste it right here. So it's simple line. You can edit from here. Go to decorative and horizontal line. You can choose one of these, and I just drag it inside the stack element, and I have this I don't know what it's called, but you can understand it's go inside, and reposition it. And if I'm not wrong, I put like 12 pixels margin from top, and so this is like 1 unit. And then later you can change the icons, the label, whatever you want. So basically I have 5 groups of buttons, 5 stacks element of buttons, and each one of them sit on its own row inside this container. Okay, I gave this container with explicit width in pixels. All right, 240 pixels, which is same as this width of the YouTube sidebar. And later we will see this version of buttons, but right now this is what we have. I can get rid of I will show you just what I meant, what I'm about to do. Basically, this is one state. On the second state, I will only change this one to display only the icons. Okay, and then everything will, I will do the same for everything, so I will have only the icon. Let's delete it, and you can also see that everything is in relation, is in percentage in relation to its parent. So this width is 100% in relation to the stack element, which is also 100% in relation to the main container. Okay, so this is how I create this. Basically, this is the heart of our sidebar. This is the actual buttons. So now how can we create a sidebar? So we can also create a sidebar that push this content, right? When I collapsed it, actually now I have more space for the content, right? So for this one, I will use a vertical section. How to add a vertical section? You need to click on one of the sides of this canvas, and outside this canvas you need to click, and then you have this plus button. So I will click the plus, and now you can see that I have a vertical section. I will add some color to it so you can see it. Okay, immediately you can see that this vertical section is covering by the website header. You can leave it this way, or you can drag it below. Okay, I think I will prefer to keep it this way because I want to calculate the height of the height of the screen height. Okay, you know what? Let's start, and later you will better understand. But now you can see that I must have fixed width to the sidebar, right? So if I have here some content, let's add, you know what, I have here also already this tag element. This is say this is home, all right? So you can see that if I increase its width to 500, it push the content, right? So we need this effect to the sidebar. So basically, what do we want to do? We want to set the width of this vertical section based on its content. So if it's collapsed, I need to take only this part of this width from the whole screen width. But if it's expanded, I need to take more space from the page width. All right, so this is part one, and now we need to make sure also another thing, that when we reduce the height of the screen, we have this call inside. All right, so let's start with by adding another container to this sidebar. Right, this is the container, and there is one important thing that I need to show you, is that when I'm adding new sections, so basically this vertical section is grow, this is like another section, it's grow with this with the length of the page. Of course you can drag it like this. Sorry, this is the code. Need to close it for now. Of course you can drag it like this, but we don't want this behavior, because we need when we scroll down, we need this sidebar to scroll down with us, as you can see right here. All right, so I need this section to always be as height as my page width, my page height. Okay, this is why I'm adding another container. I will set it to be 100% width, and let's place it correctly, and I will make it 100 VH. All right, but because I have here this created on EditorX, I need to reduce it from my screen height. So of course I can use a calculation. So I will go to calculation and set 100 VH minus 50 pixels of the EditorX banner. So if you have premium, you don't need this one, just 100 VH. And we need to set another thing, is that every element that is bigger than this container, I need to get this call inside of it, right? So let's change it to overflow content to be scrolled, and vertical, of course. Right? So if, for example, I will add a button here to this container, and I will add like huge margin from top, let's say 1200 pixels from top. So now, as you can see, I have scroll inside this container, and now the button is up here. The second thing, I need to delete this button. The second thing that I need to do is to make it sticky, right? Stick to the top, so when I scroll down, it scrolls down with me. So let's go to scroll, to position type, and set it to be sticky with 0. Yeah, right now it's underneath the header, so yeah, I will choose 0. So let's see if it's working for us. Sorry, I can see immediately that I have a minimum height, so I need to remove it. So let's publish it again. And now we should see, and now you can see when I'm scroll down, this container scroll down with me. All right, amazing. So just for testing, if I drag this container inside this container, okay, so let's position it, dock it to the top with 0 margin, and immediately you can see that we're missing one button because it's underneath this header, but we will solve it later. So let's publish it right now, and we should get scroll inside this container, and we get it. Okay, this is exactly what we need. So how can we solve the issue that we're missing one button? Basically, we need to add some padding to the parent container of these button containers as height as this header, which is 56 pixels height. So I will go to this container. I will actually, this is not true. This is not a sticky container. This is the menu buttons container. So this is the sticky container. Sticky container. So I will add padding to this container. It will be 56 pixels from top, and of course you can see that the content is bigger than the width of the vertical section. So first of all, I will reduce its color to 5%, and it didn't change. Why didn't it change? Oh, it's this one. Okay, and this is overflow. We have here overflow content because if we will see this container of the button container, its width is 240 pixels. Okay, actually the height should be auto, but we will fix it later. But why this container is bigger than the vertical section container? Basically because here we have width in pixels, and we need these pixels, so I will show you why. And the vertical section has different width, which is smaller, 200 pixels. All right. So if you remember, we need this vertical section to push the other sections based on the layout of this sidebar. So I can change the width to be based on the content. So max content. If I change it to be max content, now it should be. Why it's not working? Let me see. So this container, sorry, this. Right. This container is with pixels, and it should be docked to the left. And this container should be I did a mistake, and I don't find the right. No, this is not good. I don't remember what I did. So let's go back again. I will select this container, and let's dock it to the both sides. It's not helping. This container, change grid layout. If I said you are 240 pixels, it's not helping. Why it's like this? Max content basically should take, let's change this one to, oh wait, 240 pixels. So now it's good. Okay, so I did a mistake. I need to set the sticky container to be to set the max height as calculation with 100 VH minus 50 pixels and not to set the height. Okay, height should be auto, and every element that is crossed this height we should get this score. Okay, so when we set it this way, now we can set the max the width of this sidebar as max content. So if I increase the width of this menu buttons to 300, so you can see that the section is also growing. So let's go take it back to 240 pixels. But so you know what, let's publish it and see how it's acting. So let's refresh it, and we have this scroll inside, and when we scroll down, it scrolls down with us. Okay, first part is good, but now we need to toggle different layouts. Currently we have only one layout, right? So for now I will use let's don't display this one. I will use multi-state box to do it. So to use multi-state box, we need to turn on devmont, and then we have multi-state box. So I click on this one and it will add a multi-state box for me. So by default, multi-state box came with two states. So our first state here, I can change the ID of it. So let's change it to expanded. You know what? Big, small. Let's say okay, big. Sidebar state. And the second one, this one will be. You know what? I don't need it for now. I will duplicate this one. So what I'm going to do, I will set the vertical section back to, I will change it to pixels, so it will not collapse for me when I'm taking out this container, which has the width in pixels. So if I will take it from here, when the vertical section width set to be max content, so it can be by mistake collapsed to be 0. So let's drag it right here, and I will dock it to the top and to the left. I will remove the background color from this state, and from the multi-state box I will set something slight like 10%, just so we see the state. And I will keep this width in pixels of this container. I just need to remove the height. Okay, I have mean height of 900 pixels, so let's remove it. All right, so this is the first state, and for the second state I will just go to manage states. I will duplicate this one. Let's duplicate it. So this is the big state, and this is the duplication, okay? And this is the empty state. Let's delete it. So let's change this ID to be small sidebar state, okay? And now what we need to do, basically, we need to change this layout. So I will first of all go here and go to layout. I will remove this spacing, and I will select to display only icon. All right, and I will change the layout so the icon will be in the middle. You know what, actually we don't need it, or we do. I prefer to keep it same as it was, but I need to find the right width to the button. So let's see, it should be something like, I want it to be identical, so it should be something like this. So let's say 70 pixels, all right? But it will be relative to the parent, so I will keep it 100%. So all I need to do, I need to copy design element from all breakpoints and paste it like this, you see? And then it update everything accordingly. Oh, it's not working. So yeah, I'm not sure I need to do it for everything, but you're getting the idea, right? So yeah, we have lots of them. So this part we don't even need. Okay, we don't need to display it, so I delete it. And these titles, I don't want them, I can delete it. And that's it. So what do you say we will, so you can skip the video because I'm going to do it anyway. I will remove all these buttons. I will compare all the buttons to same style. All right, we're done to create the right layout for the mini sidebar. And now we need to select the parent container, which is this one, and change its width to be 70 pixels. All right, perfect. So all we need to do is to take this multi-state box and drag it inside our sticky container, if you remember. So this is the multi-state box, and we have here in the vertical section the sticky container, which is now empty because we took the container with the buttons inside. So let's reselect the multi-state box and drag it right here, and I will place it properly inside. I will dock it to the left and to the top, and the width should be 100%. All right, and we have, of course, the skull inside. We should have the skull. Yeah, we have it. And now we can go back to the vertical section and set its width to be max content. So now it should be 70 pixels. And it is, right? So if I select the multi-state box and change state, you know what, let's bring back this stack element so we can see the layout shift. So if I change the state to be the big sidebar, so you should see this text push aside, which is this case. Okay, amazing. So this is working. Now, all we need to do now is to active, oh sorry, I need to remove this background color. Okay, and also from the big state. Oh, it's okay. Maybe we'll see later. Actually, it should be matched with this color, which is this one. Let's see. This container has no background. This one has no background. Multi-state box has no background. Vertical, oh, this one is not right. This color should be this one. All right. So we have the right layout, and now we need to activate this menu button to expand and collapse this menu. So let's jump right to the code, and remember that we need the vertical section to be master, right? Why master? Because we will need to use it in different pages, right? So let's quickly go and set as master. You can set it as header or section. I will choose here section because I have already header. And it should be marked as green. A second. So now it's green, and let's change its name to be sidebar. And if we will go to the masters, now you can see that we have sidebar. All right. All right, so let's go to the code. And the code should be pretty simple, but we need to set the code inside the master page because it's master section. So you can see that I already create all this code, but we will go over it. So I create a function called init sidebar. What it does. So first thing we do is I set this button, okay? I call it menu button. So menu button, can I make it bigger? Okay, so menu button, this one, on click, when you click on it, so current state is, this ID is the multi-state box. Where is it? This is the multi-state box 1. So I will change it to multi-state box 1, okay, which is the sidebar multi-state box, okay, and part of the API of this multi-state box is that I can get the current state. For example, right now this is the state we call big, right? We have two states. We have small sidebar state and big sidebar state. So this state currently is big sidebar state, okay? And then I have another function that toggle the sidebar, okay? What this function does. So I pass the current state to this function. So sidebar menu is, again, should be this ID. Okay. In the final version, I will keep these IDs because they are with meaning, so you will understand which element is this. But because I duplicate my first example, I need to change the IDs. Okay, so now it will be multi-state box 1, and I don't need this actually. And then I ask if current state is equal to main sidebar state, which is the old ID I gave to the states. So this should be if current state equals to big sidebar state. So go to multi-state box and change the state to small sidebar state, and then this function is later on. And if it's the opposite way, you need to change the state to big sidebar state. All right, so far this is what we need to check if we can toggle this sidebar. So let's publish it. All right, so let's refresh it. And now let's test it. One click, change the state to small. Another click, change the state to big. You can see that I have some different coloring, which I need to fix. But anyway, it's working, right? And if we shrink the screen height, we get here this scroll. So it's working great. I miss here something, I don't know why. Anyway, so this is good, right? But if I choose this layout and refresh the page, so it's going back to be big. We need somehow to remember to remember the user choice. So for this one, I will choose the Velo API called Velo Session API, which is allow us to store some data in the browser. Okay, I already practiced it, so I created another function that two functions. The first function, what it does, it saves this data to the site session. Okay, so I of course import this service, and this function, what it does, it's called set user sidebar settings. Okay, it go to session and set items called sidebar state, and it save the current state. So basically I need to call this function each time the user change state, each time I click here, which is changing the state. So you can see that I change it here and also here. So I need to pass, when I click on the big sidebar, when I click to change for small, I need to save it as small. When I change it to big, I need to set it in session as big. So this is the first item the first action we do. So now the session knows what is the current state. But the second action we need to do is we need to get this data when user is visit our site, right? So the second function is get user sidebar settings. Okay, so I call this function when we first loading this script. So I'm going to get user sidebar settings, and what I'm doing, basically I'm going back to the session. See, current state is session get item sidebar state, what we just saved. So after we get this, here we get the value if it's big or small state. And then I'm asking if current state, if we have some information, because if this is the first time that user logged into your site, visit your site, the session is empty. So if we have some session, so user already visit your site, so I'm going to the multi-state box elements and change the state based on the current state, the value we saved in the session last time. Okay, so let's see if it's working. Let's publish it. And I will refresh the site. You know what? We will also log this. Oh, we have it. We will log the current state, right? So now it should be undefined, right? Wait, I have arrow. Oh, because this is the old big, small. Why I have error? Change state, sidebar state. Oh, I know why. Because I need to click once. Let's refresh it again. I have, because I already save it as, I will change it to 1. Okay, because I think I already play with it and he remember different ID. So let's save a different key. So let's refresh it. And now you can see the current state is equal to null because it doesn't recognize our key. And if I click once, okay, so now the session should be updated with the with the small sidebar settings. And now I will refresh it. Why I get an error? Change state is, oh, because it's not the right multi-state box ID. Sorry. So let's publish it again. So now it should remember that our last, you see, current state is small sidebar state. So let's refresh it. And now it's jumped to be small. Okay? And if I expand it and refresh it again, it should be kept big. Again, small, refresh the site. So it's going back to the small. All right, amazing. And even if I, okay, so now if I need to use it in multiple pages, all I need to do for example, I need, you know what, I already did it, but if I go to explore and I want to add this sidebar navigation, so all I need to do is, this is the old one that I created. So let's remove it from page. You can see it's also underneath the header. So if I go to the masters and go to sidebar and click show on page, immediately I will get this sidebar. Okay, so as you can see, it's working perfectly. So here right now you can see, I will need to publish it. You see the old one, but if I refresh it, so now it should be closed. Okay, I will go to home and it's kept closed. If I expand it and I will go to explore, it keeps to be expanded. All right, amazing. And now basically, now you will ask, what do you do on mobile? Okay, so basically I already done it, but what you can do, you can go to the expand mode. So go to multi-state box, change state to big, and you can copy this whole container and go to the hamburger menu. You can go to the vertical section and click don't display on mobile, not delete, just don't display, and copy all these buttons, and then inside the hamburger menu, so you can click open hamburger menu and you can paste it directly here, so you will get this effect. On mobile, I go to home, sorry, explore. I need to publish it first because I set it to be don't display on mobile. So now you see it's not displayed on mobile, but if I click the hamburger menu, immediately I'm getting my original sidebar. All right, you can play with the colors because now you cannot see the difference. But anyway, that's it. I hope you learn from it. I will paste the code right here for you, okay, at the home page. I will go like this and copy everything. You know what, I will return it to the original IDs, and I will update everything because it's make more sense, these IDs. Come on. Okay, so basically I will copy everything here, and I will paste it right here so you can copy it, and that's it. All right, I hope it will help you, and till next time, keep building amazing sites on EditorX.